What's going on, everybody? David here from Bluckers Videos and Toys, and today we are going to be taking a look at the Jurassic World Legacy Collection Diplodocus from Mattel. Now, this is the last official figure from the Legacy Collection line, as Mattel decided to go in a different direction and to combine the Legacy Collection and the 93 Classics into one, and which is a cool concept, but if I had a choice, I'd prefer to have continued with the Legacy Collection. That way we can continue to get more stuff from all three films, mainly Lost World and Jurassic Park 3, as they pretty much did everything, if almost everything, if not everything, for the first film. So it would be kind of nice to have seen them continue on with the Lost World and JP3 and Jurassic World, you know. But hey, it is what it is. So let's go ahead and get started. Let's go ahead and take a look at this packaging. I did pick this up on clearance for $20, and so hopefully at the time of this recording, there were still plenty full out there. I don't know about now by the time y'all watch this, you know, but yeah, they're going pretty fast. They're like a ton of them. I've seen people pick up 2 or 3 of these at a time, so. But it looks like a really good figure, and the only time that this really appeared in the franchise, in the film franchise, was Jurassic World in the Lockwood Mansion as a statue, and it has a little photo in the background with the little statues of the babies, and hopefully that we get to get a baby Diplodocus as well sometime in the near future. Alright, so this is the standard sauropod packaging. There's a big box, you know, and then it has the picture of the Legacy Collection logo right there, and it's got the picture of the Diplodocus, and then it's got the Diplodocus right there, and then here is the kid measuring his arms out to let you know that it is 56 inches, you know, and that's a lot smaller than the Dreadnoughtus that we previously got before this one. And then you got the Mattel logo right there, ages 4 and up, that's me. I do like the artwork on this, so I think I still have all of the boxes. I keep all the boxes for the sauropods because they're just amazing. You know, I would like to one day eventually have a display with the box with each sauropod, which is pretty cool, but we'll see. All right, so here is the top of the box. Let's see if we can't. There we go. It's got the Jurassic World logo right there, the Legacy Collection and Diplodocus, and then again here's the same photo with the kid measuring out the figure itself with its arms and letting you know how big it is. And then of course it's 142 centimeters and 56 inches long. And then let's see, we'll go ahead and turn it on its side right here, because this is probably where we're going to be opening the box. So basically it's just Jurassic World Legacy Collection there along with the Diplodocus, and then you get the posable, and it's let you know that the kid's holding it, and the leg, or not the leg, but the showing that the neck and the tail is posable. And so then we'll turn this thing around over here. So here's a better look at it. Let me get that. Of course, you know, it's just basically showing you the kid again, and it's posable, the articulation with the tail wrapped around the packaging. And then the bottom of the box, you just have to flip it over, and basically all the copyright information right there. And then here is the one-time assembly, so basically saying that once you put all this stuff together, that's it. So it comes in 6 pieces, the main piece for the head, part of the neck, the main body, and 3 pieces for the tail. And then for the last shot, here it is where it's all standing up long ways. And so it's just basically telling you, giving you the FACSAP information with the Legacy Collection logo there, with the picture of the Diplodocus, along with the FACSAP information. And then it's got the kid measuring it out with his arms, 56 inches, 142 centimeters. And then it's just telling you it's got one dinosaur in this box, and then simply acquired. And then you got the Diplodocus, and then ages 4 and up, that's me. And again, once again, the Mattel logo. Alright, let's go ahead and open this thing up and take out all the pieces. And we'll just look at it one by one. Alright, not too bad of opening this thing up. I just took a butter knife and I just went along here. So it's just glued right there. Before I used to be taped, but that's how it was with the Brachiosaurus. And so, but I was able to, I think the last couple of sauropods that we reviewed, we had to open it like that. I think one of them, the Mamenchisaurus one, I think, pretty much destroyed that box trying to open it with my hand. Okay, so here we go. Here is the pieces for the neck right there, and then for the tail, and yeah, let's see there. And then let's see if we can't just take this out. Go. I don't remember it being all this from the last one that we did, but there it is. There's all the stuff. Right, let's go ahead and set all this stuff up. Alright, so we got everything out of its packaging, so let's go ahead and get started. We'll just go ahead and start with the main part, not the main part, but the head and neck pieces, and then we'll work down to the main body and then to the tail. Alright, so really loving this detail, and I know this doesn't look like the statues or the photos that they had in the Lockwood Mansion, you know, because this is a little different as they added the little spikes along the neck and the tail and the main body. But it's a really well done. You know, I do like the head sculpt of that. That's very cool. And of course, you got that dark coloration on top of along with the face and neck, and then you got airbrushing here along the neck and underneath the lower jaw, and then you got that coloration right here that's about to start into the main body. And then as far as the head sculpt goes, looks good. The eye is pupil right there, looking forward. And then here, same thing. The eye looks like it's looking forward. So that's good. At least I don't have a wonky Diplodocus. Both pupils are looking forward. So, and then I like the detail in here along the jawline and the snout. And then, of course, get that white paint job right there along the eyes. And then as far as the teeth go, looks really good. No overbleed. Looks like it might have a little bit of cavities right there. But it's not that noticeable unless you really, because when you open it, you're not going to be looking inside the mouth. So, it'd be one thing if it's like down here. You could see it, but since it's up here in the upper jaw, and you can't even see it, you know, unless if you're just like doing a dental check, for whatever reason, for your toys. But overall, the paint job inside the jaw and along the mouth is really good. Really like that a lot. Really happy with it, you know. And so, other than that, got all the creasing and the wrinkles in the neck, and you got the osteoderms along the side right here. You can tell they protrude out on the side of the neck a little bit. Right there, details a little bit more spiky, I guess, you know, along the neck. And then as far as articulation goes for the head, you know, it's on the ball. So the head is on the ball, and then the jaw is on the hinge. So open and close that much. All right, so and then here is the second piece for the neck. So as far as coloration goes, I do like the light coloration of the plastic that they used. You got the airbrushing continuation here along his neck, and then of course you got the airbrushing along with the dark paint scheme to go along the neck that kind of ends right here, and then it's got a little bit of it on the spikes, and then along the here is it. You could tell these are like different pieces just by the way the connection piece is right there. That's been airbrushed. So like all of these are all separate pieces, or it may not be separate pieces, but it looks like it's like maybe one big long piece that's connected. I'm just assuming that's how they did it, you know. Just like here's the seam right there where it connects. So you got the manila color here as the pattern along the neck. So then got the deep muscle structures here alongside the neck, and then here along right there below it. So yeah, so really excited about this, and we'll just go ahead and connect it. And so here is our Diplodocus connected here at the neck, the head. So, and then like I said, so there's where the pattern continues on and then it ends abruptly. You know, kind of it just rounds out a little bit. So kind of nice. It'd be kind of nice if they could have continued this coloration all the way across the body. You know, so. That is the neck portion of the Diplodocus, and so now here is the main piece. Let's move this out the way, and so this main piece is really cool. So this is the main body. It looks a little weird because of the stance and how they stand, because it's not fully straight, but I guess that's just how they molded it, and it looks a little scrunched up to me. I mean, it's just, if you look at it and you look at the pictures compared to the others, this one looks a little bit more scrunched up. That's just my eyes. That's what it's telling me. But it may look a little different in other people's eyes. So, not too much going on right here. You got all this red speckling across the hind legs, and a little bit across the main body, and here in the front legs too as well. As far as that white pattern goes, it's just got like maybe 4 or maybe 5 main stripings, and that's it. It just varies in different spots, and then of course it stops, and then it continues on to the tail. So here is the vac sap, if anybody wants that or needs that. So, all right, so let's go ahead. This out. But as far as other coloration, of course, you got the airbrushing here all the way down here. But I do like the fact that they continue it here and it just rounds out at the bottom, even though they didn't continue it all the way over, which is fine. As long as there's a stopping point to where they can round it out instead of just a straight line. That always bugs me when they just do stuff like that. Without no continuation or a round out form to where it looks a little good, looks okay. And so of course no paint on the feet. So here's the front, and you can tell here's the side. So there's the striping pattern right there. Doesn't look as good as the other side. Let's go ahead and center it real quick, and then we'll see if it's evened out. So as you can tell, looks all right. Not as bad as I thought it was. But yeah, we don't get much striping on the main body. They just said we gave you all the underneath paint, so you get a little bit on the top. But overall, the stance is real cool. it's interesting, you know. Of course, on this side, you got all the red speckling here and stuff, you know, the patternation that goes on the hind legs and the front legs, and then here a little bit on the side. I think it might be a little bit more on this side than on the other side, and then here on the back of the tail as well. And of course, you know, got all the deep muscle structure right there, especially right there on the stomach, and then here in the hind legs, there in the front legs right there. A little bit of wrinkling here in the front leg, the back hind legs there. So, and here is what it looks like here. So, very great detail. So we're just going to go ahead and insert the head right there. I'll just leave it right there. And then now here's for the tail pieces. So here is the main tail piece here that connects to the back of the main body. And so, like I said, the pattern continues here on the main tail right there. So, got a lot of wrinkles here, a little bit here, and then you got this little piece right there, like this, I guess, a vein, if you want to call it that, or just a deep muscle cut right there. So then it's got more of that red speckling throughout the tail, and then you got the striping pattern, and then of course you got the little spikes here. That's a separate piece, you know, that's connected to these two halves right here. So that's the main tail right there, and then here's the middle part. Again, same thing. It's just got a couple of striping patterns here. It's a bit thicker. And then you got that red speckling across the tail a little bit, more so on this side than this. I think just a little bit bunched up right there. So you can tell it's the curvature right there, where looks like the tail's about to form into a whip, because you know that's what their main defense was the elongated tail. That's you know, they whip the carnivores with that tried to attack them. So not much to go on this one, so we'll just go ahead and let's see. Take a look at the other part first. Okay, this is the last piece, and this is the end of the tail. So really nothing except for the spray right here, the airbrushing right there. So just wish they would have continued the airbrushing from the neck all the way down to here. You know, that would have been a great look. But yeah, that's about it. So let's go ahead and assemble the tail. All right, the tail is all assembled, so that's good. Of course, you know, you got the cut right there, and then don't really have a cut here. It's just once that's assembled, it doesn't really articulate right there, but it does here at the end right there. Alright, let's go ahead and assemble this tail right here. I don't know if I'll hear a clicking sound. Alright, so here is our Diplodocus fully assembled. So that looks amazing. So happy to finally add this to the collection. Alright, so get a closer look at it. So here's the head sculpt right there. So it's amazing. There's the tail. So it looks really good. Even though I know it does look kind of funny and scrunched up, but it looks, once it's assembled, it looks amazing. Once you have this in person, it's one thing to look at pictures and another to watch review videos, but once you have it in person, it looks a whole lot better, you know. Alright, so let's do some comparisons. So just a couple of information about the Diplodocus. It is from the late Jurassic period, and was found in the Morrison Formation. And here is a couple of figures or a couple of dinosaurs, I should say, that lived alongside the Diplodocus in the Morrison Formation, which is the Hesperosaurs and the Cerrato. And then there is a couple of more species that lived in the Jurassic period. Might not have lived alongside the Diplodocus, but the Daxosaurs and the Rhamphorhynchus all came from the Jurassic period. And then for our human comparisons, we have John Ammon. Here is the Diplodocus next to the Jakks Pacific 2014 Godzilla. As you can tell, the Godzilla is a very large figure compared to the Diplodocus. Here it is next to the Jurassic World Apatosaurus. Here it is next to the Jurassic Park Brachiosaurus. Here it is next to the Jurassic World Dominion's Dreadnoughtus. As you can tell, it just dwarfs it. And the Dreadnoughtus is such a large figure. It just like puts the Diplodocus to shame. And then for the final comparison is the Lost World Mamenchisaurus. Now, this could be up for debate. The tail is a little longer than the Mamenchisaurus, which rightfully so it should be. But the neck is longer on the Mamenchisaurus than it is on the Diplodocus. So, I guess in my eyes, they're almost about the same length. But I really felt like the Mamenchisaurus neck should have been at least a little bit longer. It had needed at least one more extension piece. It didn't have to be a big one, but just enough to make it a little longer. But yeah, that is the comparison for those two. So they look great. And here's the final comparison with all of them, all 5 of them together. So happy to have all these in the collection, each representation for a particular film, and just to have a different species in the collection. So this is just amazing. So now, just waiting on to get the Titanosaurs for the Jurassic World Rebirth film. And that thing looks incredible too. So I can't wait to review that one as well, to add them to the collection. So hopefully we continue to get more large sauropods. So hopefully we'll be able to get some here in the near future. Alright, so that about wraps up my review on the Diplodocus. I hope y'all enjoyed this. And honestly, I really do like this figure a lot. Even though I have my little criticisms about the way it looked. But actually, after having it in hand, I think it's just a wonderful figure. I'm glad that they went with as far as the body style goes and how it looks and stuff. So it just adds more to that appeal to it. And yeah, so let me know in the comments below what you think of this figure. And don't forget, words to wisdom: buy what you love and know what you like, because if you buy what you like, you always end up getting rid of it. And I will catch y'all later.